I'm Matt Hill. I'm the crew chief for Kyle Mohan, Formula Drift. This is Kyle Mohan.
I'm Kyle Mohan. We campaign a 1,000 horsepower Mazda RX-8 here in Formula Drift with the help of GT Radial, Energy X, Mazda Tricks, and EXEDY racing clutches. This sport is one of the most abusive motorsports that we do in the world, and we really only trust the absolute best products on our car.
Wow, you put me on the spot. Well, the thing is, we have tens of thousands of dollars invested in every round we go to. We need to make sure that our cars are going to be durable and are going to last. It is the worst feeling in the world to be let down by a component that is easily serviceable, and it just gave up because it wasn't of highest quality. EXEDY clutches bring us that performance and quality that we're looking for and we need to get this car to function correctly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we come out here with the money we have invested, the time we're spending, we gotta have the best possible components in the car. We've been running EXEDY now for 10 years. We've never had a product have an issue. At this point, I run them in all my street cars, my race cars. I wouldn't go out on the track with anything less.
And the quality of these components are far superior to most other components I've ever used. I do a lot of off-road, we'll do sprint cars, we've done NASCAR, and really the only consistent thing in all these different forms of racing that I've done is the EXEDY clutch. It's the highest bang for the buck that I can ever get.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
really
consistency is key when we're out here on track. You always have to have that same feeling. You want superior products that are going to last, take the heat, take the abuse. And from what we've seen, EXEDY is one of the only ones that will come out here and last through what we put them through every weekend.
As far as the components go, my goal in life is not to have to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, we want to be able to show up at the track and know that the car is going to work. All the mechanical components are going to be fine. That way, it really comes down to just me doing my job on the track.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So, but yeah, for me as a crew chief, there's all sorts of different components I have failures with that I have to deal with because of metallurgy, or we're just so hard on it, or we just plain wear them out. And they're not components that are really easy to service. But the peace of mind I get from putting these clutches and components in the car is far beyond any amount of money I would ever spend. The peace of mind is invaluable throughout the race. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to think about it. And occasionally from Kyle having a brain fart, there's not really a whole lot I have to worry about on that side of it.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes all the stress out of the driveline components, or rather, it takes the stress out of our crew and me as a driver knowing that those driveline components are in there and reliable.
One of the best qualities of these, not quality I should say, one of the best
aspects.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That. One of the best aspects of these clutches is they're really soft on the driveline, but they have an excellent hookup. They give us the right amount of slip so we don't break drive shafts. We're not breaking axles. We're not shattering a bunch of components because the harsh load coming straight into them. If you think about it, when you have 1,000 horsepower banging on a ring gear, it's like hitting that thing with a sledgehammer. If the component that we're using, the clutch we're using, doesn't have enough give to it, it can shatter that. It can spin my drive shaft right out of the car. I don't have any of those issues. I don't have any of that worry. It's just the right amount of slip for what we're doing. We make it do that because that's what we're looking for. If I need a clutch that's going to be 100% locked all the time, I can make it do that. All I have to do is pick the correct components. They're all available, and that's what I do.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of other teams and just clutch purchases make is they're only looking at the overall lockup or pressure of the plate. You can easily put too much shock load into a driveline, and that's one thing I really like about the EXEDY products. They spend a lot of time developing them. When you get one of their off-the-shelf components, you know it's going to be a good balanced product for your car. If they say it's going to hold 800 horsepower, it's going to hold 800 horsepower. If they say it's a street and track duty clutch, it's going to last on the street and put up with track abuse. And I think a lot of companies out there just get so caught up in trying to make this ultra hard component that they forget that a lot of people want to be able to drive their cars on the street, drive them to the track, and not have to replace drive shafts and axles all the time.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a lot to be said for component feel when you're in the car.
Yeah.
We've all driven race cars that have had these clutches that they're a light switch.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're on it, you're off it, you stall the car. I mean, you have a monster amount of torque and a monster amount of horsepower, and you stall this thing because it's a light switch.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and the progressive hit of these clutches and the engagement and how smooth and simple the feel of the clutch is really phenomenal. It just is a great benefit to the whole driveline and the whole car.
I think what it comes down to is EXEDY gives you a great balance of performance and drivability. I mean, you're not going to be sitting there hurting your foot, hurting your knee, trying to hold the clutch down, but you're still going to get that lockup in a 1,000 horsepower car if that's what you need.
Yeah, that's what it's really all about. Ease of use, ease of installation.
Longevity.
Longevity, and the components are wonderful.
Yep.
I haven't ever really used the clutch I like more.
Yeah, I mean, in the 10 years I've been in Formula Drift, we've been using EXEDY almost the whole time, and they truly are one of my most favorite components in the car. I know we don't have to worry about them. I know they're going to work every time we show up at the track. I wish every component was like that.
I wish everything was like that.